Oli, hi, Monkyvers. I hope the lighting will be right, honestly. But I'm showing myself with that base. Like, the only thing that it did was lashes, which one is kind of falling, but like, let's ignore that. And my lips. Not no, I just put some lipstick on. By the way, I did these rings. I don't know if you like it or not. You know me, I don't need to say it. Either way, thank you for being here and let's dive into this topic which gets me real excited about it, and I'm going to explain the difference between um I'm going to say the code words for some stuff, but the temple and also another code word that I'm going to use today, it will be P, that is for girls, that is poor people and poor boys that need that need clothing, if you know what I mean, okay. So today I'm going to speak about it, and I'm going to spill the truth about it, how to quit this type of thing. I did that in my video, but like I never dive into deep like the video talking about OnlyFans and all of that. But either way, Monkyvers, I'm really glad I have you here, and thank you so much for being here. Okay. So, why is this the happen that you might feel okay? Why you might feel driving into this type of things? I'm going to spoke for both genders, both like men and women, and like non-binary people, or like LOL girlies. No, I'm probably gonna please you to don't get banned this video. It is for educational purposes. But like that is what has been going on all time, that I feel like it's been popular between people. Like I can understand why. But I'm going to also set my POV of this. Like I'm really going to spoke about it, and some people feel attracted by it because maybe that is in a rough way or like in a soft way, but like they see this type of content about like, gosh, like ICP, like there's a new thing or whatever, and they're gonna have this mindset like this the like so pleasant, doesn't matter age and all of that. But why is because biologically speaking, all women and all men, all people without genders and without like labeling all people. And if you don't identify all humans, I don't know, but like everyone have this thing on their bodies, is that they like have the on feeling, the turn on, that is what we came like by fabric. We all are going to get turned on. Okay? So at some point you might ask, but why you're saying that? It's because a lot of people find it when they were younger, probably a kid, probably something, but like how we can have that kind of age of like be turned on, because everyone could get that like as a person, doesn't matter the time, but like everyone have their own thing. But like at a certain age, it's the best to respect that, to maybe. But what happened those days is that essentially all people that we consider that are like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, it's like we normalize a lot consuming this type of peak content, and at some point it could be draining to you because everyone are skipping phases when it comes to exploration, sexuality, and all of that. They're like wanting to explore in a safety way, um feeling this type of feelings by watching this type of content. And most of them were part, doesn't matter if like part of the LGBTQ plus community or part of the like LOL community or like a straight community. doesn't matter that, but like we all are kind of curious about it, but like we don't know how to do it. But like I feel, and I always said this even with my songs, that's why I love metaphors. I love metaphors for this. And I want to tell you something, that you don't need to get into that if you're a straight person to actually be good at it. Like, this is something that you will learn with someone that it will be with you. Okay? So, if you're a straight, like, the only thing that you're going to learn by watching this type of content, which I think is bad, because you are already stimulating your mind. Even if you have ADHD, you will be even more, because your mind is getting used to have a lot of stimulation between your body and between your mind. Because let's be honest, you are not only watching it, you are just touching the temple and watching this type of content. And at some point, you might find yourself in this thing of like, why is that I'm not getting pleased, or what is that I'm motivated because of that? And you are getting distracted because there is nothing that gives you the same amount of pleasement in that, So at some point, you might ask yourself, like, why is this or why is that? But like, this is actually the reason. That is the point A. B, if you are a person who is maybe part of the LGBTQ plus community, and I've been seeing that a lot of like people that say, "Oh my gosh, I really don't know," until I find out that I saw a girl with another, and I thought that was so hot. But like, no, it's not the truth, because a straight girl also consume that content. Like, they call it, not that it's a rap, but like gay content that is related to that. So there is no such thing as like labeling because of that. And that is also a true. Okay. And when it comes to exploration, I will tell you always on check on that, because when it comes to like exploration and things like that, your body and yourself will figure it out. But like, I feel that if you're too curious, because we live in an era that everything is like on like the internet or like some stuff, and like if you are getting maybe too curious about it, the best, and I promise, the best thing that you will avoid trauma, not that deep, but like you will avoid be maybe shocked, and like you will have these codependency problems if you don't watch it yet. But like if you want like a little explanation, because you might be getting too curious, and maybe you don't want to have this addiction, and maybe you're just wondering because I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. It's like hearing people, but like animals, but like people. Obviously that. But like, is that? And if you wanna search about it, search in the best way. You have ChatGPT, you have Google, like, and ask ChatGPT or Google, tell me please in the way how these people have like sexual chemistry. That that's it. Don't Google it. I mean, like, oh my gosh, you want to do, you figure it out. It will be better than like being on those things. Either way, at some point you might figure it out. Yeah, you might Google it like in a safety way, and you will not skipping these things or phases, let's say, for the sake of like, I need approval for other people, because now most of girls like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be with this guy because it is the guy, and like they're pushing me now. Like, you need to, or is because you want to. Think about it. Like, you could be attached, you could be this, you could be that, blah 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 blah. And not everyone is demisexual. Some demisexual really don't get any type of attraction because they were with someone last day. And so what is related with that is that why some people are addicted to it is because we create oxytocin, and that oxytocin is attached to the feeling in heaven, and like feeling, that's why we feel attached to this type of peak content as well. So the best way is gradually taking it off. gradually, like a pill. Like in pharmacy, we have this quote that says, "We cannot quit one person to stop eating sugar one day to another." I cannot quit having this type of toxic things one day to another. We need to do that gradually. Maybe one day you watch it 5 times per day. Maybe the another day you watch it 4 times per day. Maybe the another day you will watch it 3 times per day. Maybe whatever, whatever. But like, don't think that it's going to be forever and going to watch this type of content, because even if for people that invest money and watch this type of content, invest that in you. Why? Because people that are really didn't have the self-love watch this type of content, because they only think that this type of girls or this type of men that they watch are not going to be with them because they're probably ugly. You are not ugly. You are beautiful. You have potential, because you know that if you put the mind, you put the work on, you might accomplish the type of body that you are seeing, that you think that is likable. Doesn't matter your orientation. Doesn't matter what you like. If you can think, oh my gosh, when I'm watching this type of content, this girl is really there is no such thing as that. And most of these things are acts. Think about it. It's not like, oh my gosh, this host is supposed to feel. I'm not going to be sad like in the TV show Mexican, without respecting Mexicans, by the way. But like, I'm not like that. Sometimes I'm sobbing in silence, holding my cat, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to be all this dramatic of like, oh my goodness, that no, it's not the truth, but for real. And the baby step on that is put your body on work out, drink enough water, eat your veggies, and be always journaling how you felt about it. And before you will be mad at me for say this, touching the temple as a way of exploration, we always did at some point. Either we were like younger, either we were like more in the age to like kind of recognizing the parts of a body. And that's really how like a lot of people felt about like that, at some point. But like the big difference between touching your temple watching this type of content, and touching your temple without watching this type of content and letting your imagination and yourself be, is the difference is really emotionally different. And it's because when you touch the temple without someone, or like without watching someone, um you always will be more in touch with yourself. But if you touch the temple watching this type of content, you are attached to that because of that. And so by quitting this gradually, like I was explaining you, and be more in touch with yourself. And if you want it, and if you don't, you don't. It's okay. But like at some point you might understand why this thing happened to you, and you, as gradually as you will think, at some point you might like find less and less and less and less interesting. And I know there is so many type of content that is going around evolving this kind of paradox, because I see that it was rough content. Like I've been googling, I've been not watching it, because to me it's like animals having chemistry. So I don't watch more animals without hair, having these type of things. But like, yeah. So that is the explanation, because you are feeling these type of things and you kind of have this thing. And let's be for real, there is not a certain type of amount of people that really feel drawn to watching someone doing these things, or like being in this type of environments. And at some point you also might figure out that you don't feel comfortable watching this because it's not good for you and not good for your bills and not good for you. And if you think of, if you don't trust me, think about this. $2 per month, because I also been googling like prices. $2 per month. How much is that in a year? Because it's not like one day to another. $2 per month, okay? And you're maybe watching what you're watching, yeah, blah blah blah. And at the year, at the year, why you think that people have houses? Literally, why you don't think about it? Like people literally have houses. They even have the butler. They have those things, and you're sitting here being like, but why? Be for real. With this, I'm not telling you become a creator. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying for that the consumer, not like the person who creates. Okay. And yeah, and if you are still kind of feeling, oh my gosh, create a bond with someone. Please, please create a bond with someone. I promise it's more fulfilling. That's why I'm also picky with people that I will pick for be my partner, because um it is the type of me that is not exposed, and everyone like give it like, oh my gosh, but like, no, it's a sacrifice yourself, and that's it. Like create a bond with someone and you might find the type of things. And always remember, a person could be customizable, which means that you maybe have the like feeling of like, I want you to look like this, I want you to look, you can do that, you can ask that. But most people really don't get enough courage to say to them, I want you to look like my favorite anime character, please. And they always look for someone else that really have this type of traits. That will always be people that create this type of content, because to be honest, these people have creativity in that sense, which is not explode maybe for someone that it's actually the partner that you already have, or maybe if you're single, if not maybe for like you that maybe we're here. So um take also the chance to also reflect on that, like be more creative in that sense. Try to always be have the courage and don't hover like, and if you have enough courage and you're like, oh my gosh, but I'm so scared, like make a note, leave it there, and like see. Because I don't know, but like be more creative in that sense, like give the credit, we need to give the credit for that, but for the understanding, not for the like justifying. Because of that, most of those people really have those skills. Yeah, they do. So yeah, that's how you can quit it. Gradually, exponentially, I don't know. But like gradually you might like be more out of these things than actually be there. So yeah, I hope that this video will help you. And thank you so much for watching Monkyvers. The thing about this is that it's not like in the movies, because there is one movie that I saw, the psychological reflection about it, that says that one boy like they just broke their computer. Don't get to that level. Just do it gradually, because you have your phone, the way you have access to it. You have your things, the way you have access to it. Or maybe if you wanna like broke your things, search someone who can be like a genius or like smart in these things, that can block all type of websites that will be related to it. So yeah, I hope that you could learn something about it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, be busy, easy, and moon. Okay, we always remember that. And thank you so much for being here, Monkyvers. Love ya. Bye.